and welcome. Welcome to Truth and Justice TV. Thank you for joining us once again. And today I have a very, very special show for you and a very special guest. Today I have my wonderful guest, Neusa Catoja. Now, have I pronounced it right?
Yes, you have. Yeah.
You know,
you got it right.
it's been 3 years since you were last on the program. And if any of you remember, on the last occasion, she had us doing exercises. But today I'm going to spare you. Today it's not going to be about the physical well-being. Today it's all going to be talking about the mental well-being and really how we are feeling about ourselves. And we've heard these expressions. Self-love, what does it really mean? And so today we're going to be talking to our guests about self-love.
My favourite subject.
Your favourite subject. So I knew you'd be the perfect one to come and talk to us about it. So first of all, for those who might have missed the last session that we did when you had them working out, tell our lovely guests who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Neusa Catoja, as you've heard. I'm actually Portuguese, so I'm originally from Mozambique, Africa. And last time I came here, it was all about transformation. It was all about well-being. It was all about mind, body, and spirit, which I still live by. But now I go by an elevation coach. So what I do is I work with women to truly get them into a place where they are walking in their purpose. And in order for them to do that, you have to be able to love yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then we're going to go more into it. But I consider myself an elevation coach, and I also get called the queen of self-love.
Yes.
And you know why. Because self-love is just such an amazing subject and something that we all have to do. And it's simple steps that we can take, but we're gonna cover that.
So self-love is something we all have to do. So is it just about me getting what I want, going shopping, eating what I want? Is that self-love?
That's doing whatever you want, basically. It is part of self-love. So self-love is literally, when you want to get into a relationship and you want that person to love you. But if you don't truly know how to love yourself and what you like, what you don't like, how you like to wake up in the morning, what you like to do for yourself, how you like people to treat you, how you treat yourself, how can you expect somebody else to be able to give it to you? So when I say going into a journey to self-love is really asking yourself, and I do this heart exercise, which is placing your hands in your heart, closing your eyes, taking 3 deep breaths, and actually asking, Neusa, what do I want today?
Jennifer, what do I want today?
And then when you listen to the voice, most of the time is, I want to rest, I want to play, I want to laugh, I want to hug. It's all the good stuff that the children like, that our children like, yeah? So self-love is literally going back to yourself, within yourself, and nurturing yourself. I.e., as a child, when a child gets up, they usually cry because they want to be fed, they want to be cuddled, they want to be changed. You've got to learn to be that child. Go back into your childhood and go, right, these are the things I want now. What do I really want? Because we don't get asked that question very often, do we?
Do you think it's important now to also be very honest with yourself? Do you think people nowadays are a bit too pretentious, a bit too superficial, and not honest with themselves?
100%. And this is the thing. When you start to really love yourself, you know what you have been allowing.
Compromising, allowing, letting other people put on you.
Exactly. A lot of the times we're people pleasers. A lot of us are people pleasers. We're trying to please other people. We're trying to go by meeting their needs, right? So we're not actually meeting our own needs. So for us is, what do I want? And being free and able to ask the person that question and to say, I don't like this. Can I have this? Without feeling guilty and without feeling like the person's going to leave me. Because a lot of our fears as to the reason why we don't speak up for ourselves is because we're afraid that person will leave, we're afraid that person will judge us, we're afraid of what will happen next. But when you speak up about what you truly want, you set yourself free and you set the other person free, because the person can then know, okay, this is what you want. Can I meet your expectation? Well, not about expectation. Can I actually give you what you want?
Can they help fulfill you?
Fulfill you,
Now,
exactly.
many people are in codependent relationships, and if there's mutual give and take, then it's not that bad. It's when another person is impeding on you, and when you are forgetting your own self within that it can be very unhealthy.
Very.
So when we come back after this very short break, we're going to talk about some unhealthy situations. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in just a few moments. Welcome back to Truth and Justice TV. And again, I'm with my fabulous guest, Neusa, and she has been talking to us about self-love and what that really means, even giving us a technique on how we can sort of really look into ourselves and be honest, so that we try to pull out what we really want and not what other people want from us. So Neusa, just before the break, I was talking about unhealthy situations. How can we go about breaking unhealthy bonds? During this lockdown, a lot of women have felt dependent on others, especially those who've been disabled or who have underlying low moods or mental health conditions. And some may feel incapacitated or unable to really help themselves or love themselves. So what suggestions would you have for women who are feeling really in a low mood?
So the first thing I always say, like I said last time, is ask for help. Really and truly, if you're feeling isolated, ask yourself, who in your family, in your friends, can you trust to actually open up? Because even opening up is a form of self-love.
Yeah.
You're really saying, look, I am not coping, I am not okay, and it's okay. I love this saying, which is, it's okay not to be okay. We're not superhuman. We're not super. We don't have superpowers, so we can't expect to wake up every single morning feeling amazing. So if you're not feeling okay, find someone in your family or in your friends that you can actually have an open and honest conversation with. I'm a coach, right? And a lot of us coaches offer a free discovery call. That we are everywhere. You can go on social media and you'll have us book your free call, book your free call. Even if it's talking to somebody that you don't know, they will be able to offer you some kind of technique. Because one thing, when my client comes to me for a half an hour discovery call, I've never met you, I ask you what's going on. And I want to make sure that at the end of those 30-minute discovery calls, even if I may not see you again, I'm going to give you some tools you can use straight away.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. One of the tools is journaling. Your emotions matter. I still journal to this day. If you can't speak,
very
write it
cathartic.
down.
It's very cathartic to write things down, especially when you find it hard to talk, because it's a way for you to express yourself. And sometimes even hearing the words when you're telling somebody can be inhibiting, but when it's you, your pen and your paper, sometimes writing it out can be more therapeutic.
Yeah,
that's a good suggestion.
Sometimes it's like you don't know what's going on. I've been in that situation where I don't know, I'm confused.
So much turbulence.
There's so much, and there's so much in our head, and I'm going to give you one really small tool. There's so many thoughts going on in our head throughout the time, right? And this is also a form of self-love. Before you go to bed, are you going into bed carrying all of these things that have happened in a day, that somebody has said, that something is done, or all these tasks that I have to do the next day, dinner here and dinner? Before you go to bed, do a brain dump. And a brain dump literally means taking everything that's in your brain onto a piece of paper. It could be something somebody said that wasn't nice. It could be the list of tasks that you have to do. It could be a negative thought and affirmation that you said to yourself. Write everything down before you go to bed. And if you find there's a few tasks in there, highlight them and say, tomorrow I'll get on with them. Just pick 3 tasks out of the long list, because you're removing the overwhelm. Then before you go to bed, do these 3 deep breaths and just affirm something that feels good to you. Affirmations are powerful, but if you're not feeling great and you end up saying something like, I am feeling amazing, that's not going to feel right. But if you just want to feel that bit better, you can just turn around before you go to sleep and say, I am okay. I am feeling good. I'm going to sleep really well tonight. And I guarantee you'll have a very good night's sleep.
Trust me, that sounds like something I might have to do today.
I know, I was looking at me thinking...
Most of you who do follow me on
Right.
social media know that my nickname is Mum on the Run. Some people used to call me
love that.
Superwoman.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that actually used to become quite overbearing because people don't realise that, you know, even if you are multi-skilled and you're in business or you're a lawyer or you're a professional, you still have problems. You still have issues that you have to face, and not everything is a bed of roses all the time. So finding myself and owning my truth, knowing that I'm mum on the run. Yes, I am busy. I am a mum, but I am a very, very fantastic businesswoman. But at the same time, it allowed me to embrace that. But there are the days that I'm just mum, and there are the days that I am actually just on holiday doing nothing. But that brain dump, at the end of the day, I do find it very hard to unwind, and I'm an early riser. Most of the time I wake up because my brain has woken up and it's reminded me of something I have to do, which is a very bad habit. Always important for you to realise part of that self-love is getting the necessary rest that you and your brain needs. Not just the physical rest, but the mental rest. So that's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Tell us, how do people get hold of you? Because people might be watching this and think, oh, well, they're just talking. So how do I follow up on this?
Well, like I said, I'm everywhere, even more so now than 3 years ago. So I'm on social media, Instagram as I am Neusa Catoja. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and I'm hosting a masterclass tomorrow as well.
Wow.
So,
and is it a recorded one, or do they have to
you're
sign
gonna
up?
have me live. Like, you literally
Brilliant.
if you go onto Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, it's there. You click on a bio and a link, it takes you there. You just register and you purely turn up. And it's going to be showing you how to unleash your feminine power, which includes self-love, which includes, and I'm going to say something, I know we was going to cover this and you may bring it, it includes discovering what it means when people say selfish. I'm going to change that word, and I want you to start using that word.
Self-love, not selfish.
No.
So, distinguish, please.
Right. It's self-full. Yeah? When you're pulling away, because selfless means helping other people. When you're pulling away and being self-full, it means like this. Jennifer, right now I can't be there for you. I can't be selfless and help you. But I'm going to fill myself up. I'm going to be self-full. And when I'm full, I'm going to be a much better person for you. How does that sound like to you? Because you want my full energy. Even as a mum, I can't pour from an empty cup. So I will say to my daughter, you know what, right now I'm not feeling great. I'm just going to have a bit of sleep. If you need to sort out yourself with dinner, just do whatever you want. And she's happy because she knows, you know what, mum needs a rest. So it's self-full. It's filling up my cup. So I put on Facebook the other day that I'm finally baptizing the word selfish with self-fulfilling.
Renaming it.
Self-fulfilling, self-full. Because
so you can't be a blessing to somebody else if you yourself are not full.
Right.
So you've got to think about making sure you're in a good place to help somebody else. Because if you are not, all you're going to be doing is passing on your own negativity and not necessarily helping somebody else to their best, to your best ability. So yes, let's rename that.
Yeah, self-full.
Self-full, not selfish, but self-full. Okay,
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, tell me, apart from really your masterclasses, what's next for you, and what can people look out for from you?
So what's next for me is I've written a first book. I'm writing a second book.
Oh.
So my first book was about my journey to self-love, which was me overcoming body dysmorphic disorder, which is where I looked at myself in the mirror and I didn't like myself. I didn't like parts of my body, and that created anxiety, social anxiety, depression, and I went on to a self-discovery journey. Right? Self-actualization, taking responsibility that it's not something medical that's going to help me, and I'm not here to tell anybody to stop anything.
If you want to go and do your surgery in Turkey, that's on you.
Whatever you need
if
to
you
do,
want to
right.
go to the gym, that's on you. At the moment, I am riding my bike. If you see on social media, that's all I can't do the gym. I'm allergic. Not that I'm allergic. I'm not that skilled with the machines, and I don't have the time. But I can fit in that. That works for me. But what works for you works for you. And within our community, especially for Afro-Caribbean Caribbean women, we're of different body sizes and shapes. In my family, it's all about the hips. In other people, it's about the belly. So sometimes we can be very uncomfortable with ourselves. And getting over that and learning again to love ourselves, all that we are, can be quite challenging for some women.
Because everything starts from within, and this is the thing. It's okay if you want to do all the external beauty, you know, do your hair, do your makeup, go to the gym, work out, but that's going to give you a temporary fix, a temporary happiness. If you want to truly be happy, and I hear so many people saying, I'm looking for happiness. You cannot find happiness outside of yourself.
It's got to come
It's
from
inside.
there.
When you work from inside, it's like people look at you and go, wow, she's blossoming. Because you're confident, your self-esteem raises, your confidence raises, you're able to own the stage, walk into a room and people notice you because it's the inside. Because sometimes when you're walking around and you're seeing somebody like this, you can look at them and think there's something going on. But as soon as a person puts their shoulders up and they're feeling amazing, that's all a form of self-love. Like, how do I carry myself? What do I say to myself? What do I allow other people to say to me? You know, that's all self-love. The little things like a nice relaxing bath, a mask, it's amazing to do. Yeah. But when you're in a place of self-love, you want to do all of those things for yourself.
It's not that you find that you don't have time. There's no need for it.
Time.
Why should I do it? Because you've got to learn to love yourself. Not necessarily being selfish, but being self-full.
Yes.
Not looking for other people for that approval to be happy, but being happy from within yourself. We were discussing before coming on air the importance about words and how we plant certain words in our minds, and what does that then ensue? How do those words manifest? So again, having positive energy, positive words, being true to yourself, but actually using those words, like, rather than things are not going right, but I'm doing my best, I'm going to improve. Really choosing those words. We're going to take another short break, and when we come back, we're going to be looking more into the book and into the future projects that Neusa is going to be doing. So see you in just a few moments. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. And if just before the break we were teaching you about anybody saying that you're selfish, no, correct them. That word's now been changed to self-full. You are filling yourself, okay? And now, so we were just saying, what other projects are you going to be able to deliver to people?
So the first thing that I said is I am a coach and I do help women on a one-to-one, but I'm going to have something even more amazing which will be discussed at the masterclass tomorrow at 7:30. But being a mother as well and having an 18-year-old daughter, it was very important for me, especially during lockdown, to build a good relationship with my daughter. We're all stuck in the same house together. We're both women. We're hormonal, right? There's so many things going on. So for me, even before, when I healed myself, I started to heal my relationship with my daughter. And I realized that if I didn't focus on myself first, then focused on her, we wouldn't have the relationship that we have. So I'm a giver, and I said I want to create another program or another company that enables mothers and daughters, families and their sons, teenagers from teenage upwards, on how to rebuild and rebond their connection.
Brilliant.
So I've launched my company, Love and Familiar CIC, which is a community interest company.
Good.
And Familiar is Portuguese, so I'll be helping both British speakers, English speakers, as well as Portuguese speakers, families with teenagers. And as I said, there's going to be a group of mums and daughters, and there's also going to be a group of families, which includes the male sons.
Yes,
to
men,
help them.
we're not forgetting you.
Yes.
Looking at the lockdown situation, it's been all over the press that the male suicide rate has gone up. So men, if you are feeling down, if you're feeling you've got no one to talk to, these programs will help you as well. It's very sad that men feel that there's not enough out there for them, but indeed these books and these tools can help you. So it's great to hear that you're having something that can help families, and especially men who feel that they are needing help, and teenagers during the lockdown, as you've said. Services, mental health services have got such queues, waiting lists. So finding these techniques, finding these coaches who have, again, as you said, at least free tools, free and analytical conversations can help you. The first thing is for you to actually reach out and get some help. So this is the book. Absolutely beautiful. What gave you the inspiration for the cover? I know it's you, but the butterflies, the colours, everything I love.
Right. So the butterflies symbolize transformation. So I transformed my life from someone who was severely, severely depressed, unable to go out the house. I had social anxiety for almost 5 years. So for me, I wanted to change. I wanted to reinvent myself. So the butterflies, to me, I love butterflies. They represent transformation. You go from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Right?
There's this chrysalis talking to a butterfly in a pub, and then the chrysalis says to the butterfly, "Look, you've changed," and the butterfly says back, "We're supposed to. We're supposed to change."
Exactly. And I even said to my daughter this morning, change is inevitable.
Absolutely.
If you're not changing, you are not elevating, you're not growing. And then the picture it actually was a moment where I looked at myself in the mirror naked. But I had my partner behind me telling me all these beautiful things about me, but I refused to look in the mirror, and I didn't believe him. So when he left, I said to myself, I don't just want to feel good when I'm with him, I want to feel good by myself.
Exactly.
And I wrote my first poem called Self-Love, which talks about me looking at myself in the mirror in a specific moment and telling all my body parts how much I love them. And that's how my journey began.
So that's something you can do when you're at home by yourself, look in that mirror, look at every inch that God made of you, and know that you're perfect.
Bless it.
So this is Soul of a Woman, A Journey to Self-Love, and you can get that on Amazon, and you can as well join the masterclass. Now, the masterclass is tomorrow at 7:30, so please go to Neusa's Facebook, look for the link so that you can sign up and join. Now, another book I've got, especially for the men, is The Premium Leader. Now, this book was written by Dr. Dayo Olomu, and I was at the launch of this fabulous book a few weekends ago, and it's now jumped up the list on Amazon. And the one thing I like about Dr. Dayo Olomu is that he's such a reserved man, but so impactful. I love quiet, impactful people just like you. Because
I'm not quiet though.
But yes, so Dr. Olomu's book is really, I would say, inspiring. He looks at different leadership styles, techniques, because we're not all the same. We're not photocopies at all. So if you find that you have restrictions, and it sort of teaches you what you should look out for, ways to be accountable, and ways that you can basically bolster your skills and harness what is good about you, and when to lean and look outside for support within your leadership or management style. And it's excellent. And then finally, before we end, I'm going to talk about my book. This is a book I wrote with a number of other women, and it's called African Women in Europe. And it's an amazing book because we talk about our life's journeys. My journey has been like that.
Never straight.
So, and it's about basically showing you that nobody is perfect, and it's experiences that help us to grow. So as we round up, I'm going to say, Neusa, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you've learned something about self-love and being self-full. So remember that you must love every inch of you, because you're wonderfully and perfectly made. Yes. Stay blessed. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Bye.